you brought up something that I wanted you to think to give your perspective on, which is lowering costs. So other than, like you said before, the cost of ERP rollouts always going up and up and up. What are some other suggestions that you can give plant owners and so forth and VPs when it comes to lowering cost of SAP rollouts?
Well, I think that the best advice would be to surround yourself with people who have been there, done that, because typically for many corporations, going to an acquisition, it's not necessarily something they have done many times. I mean, they may, some executive or manager may have gone through this a few times in their lifetime. For some, it's their first time they go through a merger acquisition. So at the end, I think it's a good investment and good advice to surround yourself with people who have been there, done that, like whatever, if it's a lawyer or accountant or a IT consultant like D4M. I think it's always a good idea to get some advice from people who have been there, done that. I think it can save a lot of mistake or costly errors later. Because again, in your rank and your managers and your team, you may not have, a lot of people that have been through this type of, situation. So get some advice, and at the same time, it's you have to see this accelerator, like the way we work. We would come in with a checklist, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel and build up your own checklist. If you hired people like us, we will come in day one with the whole checklist and the whole, methodology. So that alone is saving time, and it's accelerator. So it will make the experience more efficient along the way. So one of the advice would be to surround yourself with the right expert who have been through that before.
Out of curiosity, what's the most expensive part of an ERP rollout or an M&A? I'm assuming it involves data, because that seems to me, when it comes to a company, that's the most precious thing regarding, other than the product and the manufacturing of products. I think data would probably be very high on the priority list.
I would say data is on a very high on the list, because once you've done a transaction, you're still subject to auditing. You still want to see data history, like for example in purchasing or plant production. They still, for all kinds of reasons, they still need access to the previous year data for references, for performance tracking, for traceability. So there's many reasons why you need to keep your data for a certain amount of time. So that, I would say, is for that reason, and you're not even counting auditing and fiscal reason and all that. But I think the data is quite high on the list. I think at the end of the day, there's no application running without data. So it's a fundamental aspect that needs to be taken care correctly.